Welcome back to KingWoes Court. Episode 23 is inbound, and I have a very special, very, very special guest today. After a lot of technical hiccups, Mr. Kirk Windstein from Crowbar. How are you, my friend?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
That's great.
No complaints, so it's all good.
That's what I like to hear. How is things with you with lockdown and COVID and all that shit?
We're doing good. Robin, my wife, there's a little restaurant we go to all the time at the corner, and she started working there last August, and she really likes it, so she's up there right now. That's really helped us financially, and luckily I have 18 records out, so I do have money coming in quarterly with publishing and things like that.
Awesome.
And rejoining Down has been really good. Not only is it fun, but it's been really good financially as well. It's really helped out during this COVID stuff, doing the Down live stream and all that shit. So,
and I have to say, it's fantastic to see you back with Down, man. It really is. I'm sure everybody's over the moon.
The timing was just right, and they were like, man, come back. We'd like you to come back. I said, sure,
Yeah.
Things happen, but, I feel at home with those guys. I feel I'm in the right place, when we've only done the live stream. Now I found out we were scheduled last year to do Psycho Las Vegas Festival, and we're doing it this year. We were supposed to be direct support to Merciful Fate on the Sunday night, which is the last night of it, but Merciful Fate pulled out due to COVID stuff.
Oh,
so
really?
We're headlining the Sunday night now, the last night of it. So that's kind of, it sucks to miss Merciful Fate, but
of course,
kind of exciting to go down, So
it's a great slot, though. Yeah, it is a great.
That, and hopefully we're going to do an actual live concert that we're going to live stream, because here, like in New Orleans, everything's back. It's 100%.
Right.
Everything.
Yeah.
There's no masks, there's nothing, there's barely any cases of it, thank God, So we're kind of as normal as can be, for right now.
Was that because you guys did the groundwork from the start? Like, as in, distance and masks and all that kind of stuff, and everyone just did what they had to do, kind of thing?
We did our part. I'll say that, we didn't do shit for a year, really, or close to it. And it's just, I think, like, I just saw something on the evening news, like the nationwide for the whole country evening news, and it was kind of like, there are hospitals now that don't have anybody in them with cases of COVID-19, which is great. So, I keep looking at the Facebook thing. Sorry about that.
You're all right.
So for us, it's just been a lot of, I've been back in the gym, really, eating good, enjoying it, and I don't know, just I'm in the studio having fun. Unfortunately, the Crowbar record doesn't look like it's going to come out until 2022. But we're hoping to do a fall tour with Crowbar in the States. And I don't know. It's just there's still some stuff that's kind of messed up with traveling and whatnot, as far as trying to coordinate a proper tour and make it all work.
Here's something
so,
I want.
I don't know.
What is it gonna make? Is it gonna make touring to the UK and Ireland even difficult with Brexit? With the the way they've separated.
Looking like it's gonna be, like tax-wise and all of that kind of stuff. It's looking like it's going to be a little bit of a hassle, but we're going to do it. It's just like for us. When is this program going to air?
Probably Monday.
Okay, well then I can Monday your time though, because unfortunately we had to back out of the Sepultura tour.
Oh, okay.
This fall because of there's a lot of reasons, and we're making the actual public announcement, public statement Monday.
Okay. We can hold off if you want.
See it anyway Monday, but there was a lot of decisions that factored into a lot of things that factored into the decision, I should say. So, it sucks, but hopefully we can get something going in the U.S. in the fall. And if not, I mean, we're going to have to just continue doing live stream stuff. And I mean, look, at least we're learning a lot of older, different Crowbar songs, which is fun. I'm busy with Down as well. We're doing a 6-song EP with Down.
Lovely.
We're covering 6 old, kind of obscure, classic rock songs in the Down style.
I like it.
Which will be cool. So Pat, our bass player, came over Friday night. What was today? Saturday?
Yeah.
Thursday night. I'm all screwed up, man. He came over Thursday and we worked on some stuff. So I don't want to let too much out of the bag, but it's going to get recorded this year for sure. And then, we're Down. We're really concentrating on, being well rehearsed and ready for the Psycho Las Vegas. And then if we are able to do the live concert, live stream, that'll be great. Because doing the live stream is in front of a camera crew and a sound guy is pretty boring.
Yeah.
I mean, not boring. It's like, I know the fans are watching it, but it's just not, the same. Like, we were able to do the 2 shows with Crowbar in April, and they were packed, pretty much like sold out, basically. Just as many people as they would allow us in both nights, and the shows were great. It was so great to be in front of a live audience again,
Of
so,
course.
Right.
Those live streams, I watched the last 2 Crowbar ones. They were fucking awesome, I have to say. I really enjoyed them. I was watching one of them when I was in work on a night shift.
Cool.
While I was actually working. Not on a.
You're getting paid and watching the Crowbar. That's a win-win.
All I was missing was the beard. That's all.
Yeah, exactly.
But I have to say, not because, it's a while since you've been over here with us in Ireland, so it was great to see something live, and it was, it was really, and the sound was phenomenal. Was that an OCD? Was it?
What's that?
Was the live streams in OCD? Were they? The studio.
Yeah. What we did, we had our friend Eddie Mapp, who Muscles is his nickname. He came in and kind of helped Dwayne dial in the sound. He's a big front of house engineer. He started out with, Crowbar, kind of went to Black Label Society. He used to do Stone Temple Pilots. He does Papa Roach. He does Evanescence. He's an arena sound guy, He does big bands in the arenas. And so he kind of helped out with the sound a bit. But really, Dwayne just got it dialed in where, we have it. See, we rehearse in the same building where our studio is at OCD. Cool. We rehearse on the other side. But for us, it's easy. We just move the gear into the studio room, and that's that. So it's really easy for us. We're gonna do another one, and we're trying to learn, a few more different. We're trying to make them all different, pick up older songs and shit like that.
Nice.
And then we found out we really enjoy playing songs like "I Feel the Burning Sun," and I don't know if you noticed, we did "Waiting in Silence," but we rewrote the middle section.
I loved it.
That middle section was kind of a little too happy and upbeat for me. I love the rest of the song. It's tuned, it's super happy. But we came up with that at rehearsal, and actually, we love the song now, so it's a regular part of the set. We've really enjoyed doing Through the Edges, off of Sonic XS. And pick back up New Dawn. We picked that back up I Am Forever. There's a lot, that. So, we now have a pretty good, I think we know more songs than any lineup of Crowbar has ever known. So,
exactly.
Probably over 25 songs we know now. So that's a good thing. And it's fun, it's fun to go relearn them and rehearse them. It's like new energy, new blood or whatever happening that. So, it's been fun. So we're going to definitely do another Crowbar, probably, end of September, maybe.
Cool.
After a month or so after the Down one. And really, that's what's keeping me busy and keeping me rolling, man. So,
yeah. Oh, that's great to hear, man. It really is. What was I going to say to you? Jesus, I've lost my fucking train of thought there. Yes, a friend of mine, a very good friend of mine, wanted me to ask you a question, if that's cool. He wanted to know if you would ever consider playing Time Heals Nothing in its entirety live at any stage.
Probably not. I mean, we do need. I think we're going to pick up "Leave It Behind" off of that album.
Nice.
That album is kind of. I love it, and a lot of the fans love it. Its style is different than that now. You know, it's kind of. It's a lot of riffing. I'll tell you that. It's pretty riffed up, like faster stuff. You know.
Yeah.
But I mean, even doing like Oddfellows Rest in its entirety, it's kind of. There's just certain songs that weren't. Like when you're a brand new band, or you're a band that doesn't, you don't have your first album out yet. You play all your songs. You play them live all the time.
Yeah.
Every gig, and those songs are meant, they were made to play live. When you're like the album that we're waiting to release now, I think it's the 12th Crowbar album.
Right.
So we now have like 136 songs or something with that album included.
Wow.
So. Certain songs are made more so for the studio, and certain songs, like we'll rehearse them and try them out once or twice live sometimes, and it's kind of like, nah, it just doesn't work. Not all of them. Like by the time we did Time Heals Nothing, we already had 2 records out, and we pretty much did the entire self-titled album at one point. I mean, all those songs, a lot of those songs were played live well before we recorded the record. Yeah. So as you get further into your career and you get more and more songs in your catalog, it becomes an issue of what do we play, what do we not play, and then there's certain songs we feel we have to play. Of course, Planets Collide and All I Had I Gave, and there's a few others that we kind of feel like we have to play every show. Yeah. Walk with Knowledge Wisely, Cemetery Angels, those go over great live. Yeah. And there's ones that we love to play, like To Carry the Load and To Build a Mountain, whatever. There's ones that we enjoy. We really enjoy. Like I say, doing I Feel the Burning Sun, doing the newer updated version of Waiting in Silence. Yeah. We picked back up New Dawn off of Life's Blood for the Downtrodden. That's a fun one live. And there's ones that just go over live. And I think that's why you see a lot of bands where as they get further into their career, certain songs stay in the list, and then. Certain songs off the record, even though it might be a strong tune, it just doesn't equate to playing it live. It just doesn't feel right. So definitely, I don't see us doing. We did the entire Oddfellows Rest twice. We did it at the Roadburn Festival in Netherlands. Yeah. And then when Todd was still in the band, and then we did it, even though Shane was already in the band, and we had toured with him, we had Todd come back and do a New Orleans show of Oddfellows Rest in its entirety, and that was the last show with the big team. Yeah. But it was fun, but there's certain couple of songs where just I don't know, it just didn't feel good live. Yeah. That's all they played is certain ones were made more so for the studio.
Yeah, I can even understand that myself with some of my own stuff. It is literally for the studio. We wouldn't even think of playing some songs live, and then you get some people coming up to you saying, oh, why don't you play such and such? I'm like, oh, we never play that live. So I can kind of understand what you're saying about certain songs, like, but I have to say I would love to hear you playing Moon again off Life's Blood. If that ever happened. Moon. Moon. No. You know that one?
What album is it on?
Moon? Yeah, Moon off Life's Blood from the Downtrodden.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah, that's the one that, well, see, that Life's Blood is a very strange record, too, because I was the only person in Crowbar. There was no band. So I got 2 of the best I could think of, Rex Brown and Craig Nunemacher, to play with me on that. And I wrote everything with Craig, and at the rehearsal room, I wrote all the riffs. And we demoed that, a shitty little demo version of it, and sent it to Rex. And he said, man, I want to play on it and help produce it. So it's a great album. I love it.
I love it.
And we had Warren Riker produce it along with Rex, and Warren's done. He did Down 2, and he did Over the Under, the Down 3 record. Yeah. So that was a lot of fun, and it's a great record. But it's kind of one of those things, you know, like certain songs like that. Like I love the song Moon. It's fantastic. Yeah. It's about one of my childhood friends that was best friends since first grade, and he passed away actually while we were recording the Down 2 record.
Oh wow.
But yeah, so it's for him. But it's a great song, but just something, you know, I go back to some of these songs and I'm like, I mean, Shane, you know, I'm very old school, so Shane, being only 32 years old and very intelligent, he's a super amazing musician and a very intelligent young. I call him young. I call him the young rocker because I mean I'm 56, he's 32. I could easily be his father. You know, I think his mom's only like 60 or something. You know, she's only a few years older than me. But so he showed me how to slow down the music on YouTube to 3/4 or half speed to pick out things. Because with Crowbar, when we get down really low in the, you know, second, first, or the E, and then I do a lot of E flat in the first fret on the 5th and 4th string, and even I play a D chord open on the 5th and 4th string.
Yeah.
A lot. So when you get down into that area with the all the crunching and chugging, it's very difficult to distinguish because I've forgotten all these songs. I mean, some of them, you know, even Tom Hill's Nothing is 26 years old, you know, so it's like I've forgotten the shit, you know. Yeah. So he showed me how to slow it down and go back and pick things out, which really helps.
That's great to have someone like that in the band.
Yeah, there's a little thing on YouTube. If you pick up a song, if you look at a song or listen to it, it's a little gear. It looks like a little gear thing, and you hit on that, and you can change the speed.
Oh, okay.
And it helps. It helped us go back and relearn some of these songs. I'm like, I don't know if I'm playing an A or an A sharp. I don't know if it's an F or an F sharp. You know, whatever.
Yeah.
And you know, it really does help as far as picking out stuff.
Have you ever, like if you're playing an older song, have you ever changed the tune and tuned it up slightly just for live settings, or did you play as is?
On what now?
On anything. Have you ever like say tuned up even a half step on any of the old songs, or?
No, I mean we keep, like for Crowbar, we keep the guitars at B standard, and then we drop A.
Yeah.
Hey Ace, this is our new puppy dog.
Hello.
Hey Ace. But he's only 5 months old. He weighs like 70 pounds.
Wow.
He's big.
Well, he's a Doberman, is he?
Oh, he's sweet. Yeah, he's a Doberman.
Yeah, he's gorgeous.
And then we have little Chico here, the little Chihuahua.
Yeah.
There's Chico.
Here's Chico.
We got 3. We have Chico, the Chihuahua. We have a female named Jazzy, and she's a little mixed breed. And then we have Ace, the Doberman. So we have small, medium, large.
Yeah.
You know?
Something for everyone.
Yeah, it's all good. But yeah, like with Crowbar, we're keeping it B standard. But the weird thing is, the guitar I have laying around the house here that I write everything on is tuned to D standard.
Okay.
And then I drop it down to open C on stuff. But I wrote all the stuff that I wrote for the new Crowbar record was written out of D standard and then dropped down and practice to B or open A. And with Down, we recently went from, I saw a couple of people noticed it when we did the live stream. Phil said, is there any way we can tune down, like one note down, you know? So we went from C sharp to C and then drop, what is that? We drop A sharp, on the stuff. So we did it out of C because, I mean, Phil's, you know, his voice is still there. He sounded amazing on the live stream. You kind of start to lose a little bit of your higher end as you get old. Most people do, you know. Yeah. So it's not uncommon at all for a lot of bands to. Even Whitesnake, I heard, were tuning like super low to try to, you know, help out. And I mean, Coverdale sounds great, you know. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Priest or a note down or so. I know AC/DC went from E standard to E flat, you know, for a bit as Brian Johnson got older.
Of course.
So, I mean, you know, I'd rather have it where we tune down, you know, one note lower and have Phil feel comfortable and kill it, you know, than
straining himself,
just pushing his voice too fucking hard for no reason.
You don't need that, especially if you're doing a string of dates as well, like, you know.
It really sounds, you know, it sounds the same to me anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, what happened at first, we would play rehearsing out of C sharp and then tuning down to C and doing some songs, and I was like, man, let's just tune to C for the whole fucking practice, and then we'll drop down, you know, open tuning or whatever, drop tune on Bury Me in Smoke and a couple of other songs. It seemed natural. Once you get that key in your head, it's okay. But when you practice it for 2 hours and then you drop it down one note, it kind of sounded weird. But doing the whole rehearsal, at C was very comfortable. And I noticed, the only reason I'm really mentioning it is I noticed comments when we did the live stream, a lot of people that I guess play guitar were playing along or whatever, and they're like, man, I think they're tuned to C now. I've noticed they're not at C sharp, so yeah, that's what we do it down. Cool. But as far as tuning differently for Crowbar, I don't really see, there's no reason to it. It's a comfortable range for my vocal. I feel very comfortable in that tuning. I've been doing it for so long, since the 80s. I mean, been tuning the B standard probably like 33 years, I think. Yeah. So, obviously, after 33 years, longer than Shane's been alive. So,
I'm sure he loves.
When you really start to feel old.
He's a great young fella, isn't he? He's a great young man.
Well, he's awesome. He's awesome.
Yeah, I have to say I was well impressed when I saw him play, which is the last time. Yeah, great musician, fantastic musician, and as you said, a nice guy, And I've got to be honest. I have to say, everyone in Crowbar is always really nice and respectful to their fans, and we always appreciate that. Always appreciate that.
Well, you gotta be, man. Honestly, it's like, I've met almost every idol that I've ever wanted to meet. Whatever guys I look up to and all that are still alive. Yeah. And all of them were nice to me. So I've had a couple of them that are kind of assholes, but
happens.
In general, there's certain guys are a little more outgoing. I get it to a degree. You don't want to punish the poor guy, like, oh my God, but usually if we're backstage at a big festival, we see the bigger bands and stuff. Yeah. The thing is, everyone eats catering together and stuff like that, so you run into guys, in much bigger bands that you can listen to since you're a kid, and, most of them are really nice.
Yeah. I have to say, I probably told you a couple of years ago, I met Slayer a few times, and like them and Hughes are my pinnacle, so Slayer and Crowbar is where it's at for me. And meeting Slayer, I was like, oh my God, but I was trying not to be like one of those stupid fans, And I don't know if I had told you, but I told Kerry King that I had a baby, and it was and her name was Kerry King, and they're all looking at me like I'm a fucking weirdo, because it was the way I was talking. It was a calamity. That's all it was. But it was not good.
It happens, man. The only time I was really speechless was Ace, really.
Well, of course.
And literally, I wouldn't go up to him, and Robin's like, I got this. Hey, Ace. I'm like, don't do it. And he was very nice, and he's not super outgoing, but he was very friendly and nice. Yeah. Didn't mind, photos or whatever. He was really cool.
I think that's all. That's all you expect when you're meeting someone that you really look up to. It's just, you don't want to be annoying to them. Just respectful and say, listen, thanks.
And that's the thing. If you're at a festival, they got to play later on. It's kind of like, you don't want to. You want to act like a professional. You can be. Hey, I'm a big fan. It's nice to meet you. You mind if I get a photo or something? Yeah. And most of them are all really cool. But, at the same time, we're all at this festival together, and, it's kind of, you can't be too fanned up, even though you really are,
Yeah. And there's three people I always wanted to play a gig with. You're one, obviously, and that's happened a few times. Scott Weinrich with Spirit Caravan, we played with them. And the one I didn't get to play with was Lee Dorian with Cathedral. I missed out on Cathedral. I would have loved to play with them, Cathedral. Oh my God.
We did a tour together in '95.
Wow.
In fact, I'm looking at a poster right now of that tour. Lee's great, man. He's a super cool guy.
Yeah. Well, he's going a long time now as well, isn't he? He really, from Napalm Death to them, and
I think they did 20 years or 25 years or something, and said, that's a wrap.
Yeah, it's like for me, heaviness is always measured by Crowbar and Cathedral.
It's not definitely heavy.
It's not bad, isn't it?
And that was a great tour together. We got on really well. The guys are all really nice, and I still run into every time we play London or whatever. Lee comes out, and we have some beers or something. He's a great guy.
Cool. I wanted to talk to you about Dream in Motion, actually.
Oh, okay, cool.
First of all, congratulations! It's a fantastic album.
Thank you.
I love it. What got you into what was the idea behind recording a solo album? Had you got all those riffs on the back burner, or?
No, pretty much almost all of it was written in the studio. I would come up with like one idea at the house, and then just go to the studio and write the rest.
Yeah.
Like, as it goes. I do the same thing with Crowbar a lot. If I have one riff, I call it the money riff. Like, okay, this riff's really good. I can consider it a song because I know I can arrange and write something around that one riff,
Yeah.
So most of those songs started out as one or two, just like Crowbar does, and then the rest is kind of written on the spot,
Yeah.
I like the spontaneity of doing it that way.
That's pretty cool. And come here, are the rest of the guys? Did they do much writing on this recent album that's going to be coming out?
Yeah, I mean, Matt is always for the last since Symmetry in Black and Servant Only Lies. Matt, wrote a good bit of riffs. I mean, I'm the main guy, and I usually write more riffs, but I'm more like Matt or Shane. Shane's a great writer as well. He's a really good arranger too. That's always been my job, but he really came up with a lot of ideas of how to get from one riff to the next, kind of a clever way to do it, where it sounded really good.
Yeah.
He's very, very good with the arrangements. But Matt writes great riffs, and a lot of times he'll play me something. I'm like, all right, that's killer. Give me a minute. And I'll write something off of his riff, and I'll make a whole song around it, So
Cool.
I'm totally open to the other guy's writing, of course. I don't want to be a fucking control freak or something. I try not to be at all.
You're not Axl Rose.
As well. It's just, it's a band, so we're all in this thing together, and especially with the COVID stuff, it's like, hey, let's help each other out here, let's do this as a band, as a team, and we're all friends, I mean. We're different in a lot of ways, but we get along fine. We really do. I mean, we're lucky that we don't have these, inner conflicts between band members like so many great bands have had. The band can't stay together, or people don't even talk to one another. They want to go on stage. Shh. They're all barking. Something going on. Something exciting is going on, which probably means somebody's walking their dog outside. That's what we get a lot.
Happens a lot.
In the evening, people walk. They walk their, the babies in a stroller, or they walk for exercise, or they walk their dogs. Because our neighborhood is kind of away from the highway. Like there's no reason to be in a neighborhood unless you live here.
Yeah,
basically, it's not a big through, type traffic thing.
Yeah.
But so a lot of people walk in the evenings because it's 11 after 6 here our time.
Yeah. So it's a nice time of the day actually.
One of the dogs barks, they all start going crazy.
Look, what was I going to say to you? Yeah. So in terms of Dream in Motion, was there ever? Would you have done any touring? Would you have thought of touring that, or was it just a one and done type thing?
Oh, I mean, I want to do, more. It was so much fun. I definitely want to do more solo stuff. I mean, I'm working on some stuff right now, but we'll see. But yeah, definitely. I mean, it's definitely not a one and done. I mean, I really enjoyed doing it. It was a lot of fun because I listen to so many styles of music, and I like to write. Like I don't practice guitar, which I know sounds terrible. Not that I don't want to play guitar, but if I pick up the guitar, it's either to rehearse, record, or mainly to write. Like if I pick up a guitar right now, I'm gonna write a riff, and that's that. That's just how I am. I'm not the run through the scales type of guy. Did all that shit when I was young. I hate to say it, I just don't have the time.
Yeah.
I mean, life has taken over. I'm up at 6 in the morning. I'm at the gym at 7 or 7:30, and it's we've been doing a lot of stuff around the house, like construction stuff and painting and you name it. So it's like, just a lot. I mean, life has taken over, I mean, my daughter graduated last Sunday, I think it was. Yeah.
Congratulations.
So, from high school, so very proud of her.
Nice one.
And on the honor roll too, with great grades.
Well,
so,
fair play.
So I mean, things like that. I mean, my stepson, Robin's son, lives here with us. He's 22, but he actually works at Southport Music Hall, the venue that we play the most here. It's a great venue. We're doing a thing tomorrow. There's a really cool band called Green Gasoline,
right.
And they're young dudes, like in their 20s, I would guess, but they play like Thin Lizzy and shit like that, and that's the kind of stuff they write. They're like old souls, they're really good musicians, but they play all the old school stuff. So they're playing, and I'm like, quote unquote, DJing classic rock and metal, nothing too heavy, and they have a crawfish boil. They're boiling like 400 pounds of crawfish.
Wow.
So that's actually, I think we got to be there for noon tomorrow. So that's kind of cool. It'll be a fun day tomorrow.
Awesome.
Something to do. Eat good and listen to good music. So,
what? Like, I've never tried crawfish. And that probably sounds like a silly thing to say, but give us an idea what it's like. That's a big dish in New Orleans, isn't it?
Yeah, it's super popular. In fact, I had some for lunch today at Robin's work. They have great crawfish, and it's really good prices. It's difficult to explain. I mean, the little, like, everybody's like, oh, it's too much work. But if you peel them, a lot of people take their time and peel the whole shell. I don't do that. I rip the crawfish in half, and you gotta suck the head, because that's where the juice is. It's got all the spices.
Yeah.
So I crunch the head, like suck all the juice, and then I put the crawfish meat, the little tail, in my teeth and kind of squeeze it. And you can 90% of the time you can pull the shell off. So I can eat like a crawfish in like a second and a half, where some people take like 20 seconds to peel it. I can just fly through them. I could definitely do 8 in maybe not 8, but about 6 or 7 in like 10 seconds if I really wanted to. So, but everybody has their own little peeling technique. And when I was a kid, it took me a long time to do it, but it's well worth it. The flavor's fantastic. It's all protein. It's it's healthy for the most part. I mean, you can't eat too much shellfish, but it doesn't have a fishy flavor at all. It's just spicy, and it's great. And then they put so much stuff into the boil with the crawfish. I mean, there's tons of garlic and celery and potatoes and corn and mushrooms and all kind of stuff that people boil in there, and all of that stuff has the spicy flavor. And so you can eat, like, when I go to onions, I'll eat a whole fucking onion this big because it's got the crawfish boil seasoning in it,
Yeah.
And it'll melt in your mouth. It's been boiled, so it's super falls apart, and same with garlic. Like when Robin and I, we've been knowing each other forever, but since probably 30 something years, 35 years or something.
Wow.
But when we first got together, I was like, we went to go eat somewhere. I'm like, Robin, honey, I hope you like onion and garlic, and she cooks with a fuckload of garlic and a fuckload of onion.
Nice.
And I'm like, because I said, I love it. She's like, yeah, so, I love when she's making meatballs or something like that. It's full of garlic and onion, and it's fucking great. Now I'm starving.
You'll have to go down to her down. You'll have to go down.
A good diet. I lost 13 pounds.
Well done.
Good. And kind of the weekend, I'm kind of like, I went to the gym Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. That's 5 days in a row. I'm chilling this weekend. And Robin and I are going to Mississippi on the Gulf Coast for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday of this coming week. We've been having flooded streets and thunderstorms and high winds and terrible rain for the last few weeks. And I was looking at the weather, and I'm like, babe, it's going to be sunny all fucking week. Let's just go. It's like an hour and 15 minutes away, and it's like another world. You're right there. I mean, you're on the beach. It's a beautiful beach. Looking out over the water is fantastic. So really, we need it. We've been very busy around the house, like I said, doing shit. Yeah. And we need that break, really, to just to get away, just to relax.
Sounds like you deserve it.
Oh, it'll be fun.
Absolutely. It's great to
And
have.
then we have three dogs that live in the bed with us a lot of the time. And Ace, the big one, he doesn't know he's big. He's huge. So you can't, a lot of times we have to kick them out, and then they cry and scratch on the door, blah, blah, blah. But I mean, just put it this way, we have no alone time, so it's kind of like the only way for us to really get away from the madness of everything that goes on every day is to go somewhere else. And sometimes we've gotten a hotel for the weekend in New Orleans to just go out, to eat and have drinks or whatever. And it might be 15 minutes from the house, but it's just to get away from the madness of the house, So
just to get
it's
that,
great. I mean, I love home, don't get me wrong, but
you still need your time.
Nice to get away.
You need your time with each other, don't you? You really do.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's awesome, and I'm sure you're going to enjoy that.
Oh yeah, and it's really not expensive at all. We learned our lesson. We used to always get hotels on the beach. Well, we don't go in the water. We don't go in the Gulf. We just like to lay on the beach or walk along the beach, whatever. But we go to the swimming pool at the hotel more. So I've learned now it's like you can get a hotel for half the price, 3 or 4 miles from the beach. And if you want to go to the beach, it's only 4 miles away.
That's not too bad.
And
that's
you
all right.
can spend the day there and then come back to the hotel and go out to eat, whatever you want to do.
Yeah. What was I going to say? I know you have a bit, and I'm only doing this because I'm Irish, obviously, but I know you have a huge love for Tin Lizzy and Phil Lynott. Give me a couple of your favorite tracks from Lizzy that you're really mean something to you,
of tracks that a lot of people don't. I'm real partial to the Black Rose album because of Gary Moore.
Yeah.
So, one of my favorite Thin Lizzy tracks is definitely I've Got to Give It Up off of Black Rose.
Yeah.
And I like I like it all, of course, but as far as obscure, of course I love Emerald and whatnot.
The big ones.
But I like it all. I mean, I would say I've Got to Give It Up is one of my Got to Give It Up, whatever the official title is.
Yeah.
And I like that tune, but it's it might be off of Fighting or something. It's one of the one before Jailbreak. I know that.
Oh, I know the one you're talking about.
Break Your Heart.
Yeah.
It's called. It is a great one.
He's some great tracks, hadn't they? They really did.
Oh yeah.
Absolutely.
But, they don't have anything bad. That's the thing. It's like I can't pick. Depends on what kind of mood I'm in. If I'm going to listen to older Lizzy or newer. I even love, on Thunder and Lightning. The Sun Goes Down is one of my favorites.
Yeah.
It's just got that vibe.
And I'm just throwing random shit here at you because that's just how I roll, Kirk. Sorry. Do you like Kate Bush by any chance?
Kate Bush?
Yeah.
Yeah, what I've heard I like. I don't own any of the stuff, but yeah, what I've heard I like.
Yeah, check out her.
If it's good music, I like it regardless of the style.
Yeah.
Even if it's a dance song or something, if it's an actual good song, I like it.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
I'm just a music fan. I like good music regardless of the style. If it's good, it's good. If it's good musicianship, good songwriting, I like it.
It's the best way to be. It really is. Are you going to do anything else with Kingdom of Sorrow, actually?
What's that?
Have you any plans to do anything new with Kingdom of Sorrow down the line?
Yeah, actually we do. In fact, I wrote one song and sent it to Jamie, and he really likes it. Jamie Josta manages us along with his manager, so we're in constant contact, about business and whatnot. But yeah, we're trying to do a Kingdom this year for sure. I'm very excited about that because it's a lot of fun. It's great music, and it's fun to work with Jamie, So for me, it's if we can just get this live thing worked out, where we can get back to normal, I'm not looking forward to getting on an airplane and wearing a mask for 3 flights to get to wherever, but it is what it is,
That's it.
Look, I don't mind. The whole time that the mask thing was in, I'd see people without it, and it didn't bother me, but I wear it out of respect for
Yeah.
those who are afraid, or people who might have underlying conditions, or older people and whatnot. Like even at the gym, I'd say in the last month they've lifted the mask mandate, so I bring my mask in, and if I'm gonna walk past some older people or something who are on the treadmill or something, I'll put the mask on out of courtesy.
Yeah, I'd be the same. Yeah.
But in general, I'm just looking forward to shit being normal and getting on tour. I mean, I have a lot going on studio wise, and the Down Cycle Las Vegas is going to be a great show.
Yeah.
Looking real forward to that, and doing a Down EP, and looking forward to getting the fucking Crowbar out.
Well, that's what I think. I'm dying to hear that. Obviously. Yeah.
We shot through videos, so I'm sure the videos and the iTunes singles and shit like that will come out well before the record does, just to kind of little by little we can release something to get it out there and give people a taste of it and get people talking about it,
Yeah.
But I'm very happy. I mean, the reason I know that I love this new record is because it's been done since February of 2020, and I still listen to it, and it still sounds great. I mean, production-wise, songwriting-wise, the vocals, the guitar tone, you name it, I still love it. In fact, I listened to it earlier today.
Yeah.
So, when you listen to something, most of the time with a band like us, we put a record out and it's time to go on tour. So I listen to it a bunch and go, yeah, I'm really happy with it. And then we go on tour and I kind of forget about it. But with this one, I've listened, during the pandemic and shit, I'd go sit out in the car and in the driveway and crank it up and have a couple of beers. And so, I'm really kind of stopped drinking for the most part, just out of just too much during the pandemic. It was too easy to go to the store every day and just get beer and just lay around, drink and get unhealthy and get fat, and fatter. And so, I've really been trying to just take it easy, I mean, I miss certain things about it, and of course, I always do. I just wake up in the morning and go, I'm not going to drink today.